specifically focuses on the end of the game, so it can change the ending. So, depending on which one you want to see, you can send in your donations for that one. Make sure to assign your incentive as well, because currently we have Return Home in the lead with $200 and Return to Sun shortly behind at $135. Again, both of those bid wars will be taking place during the one-shot game that'll be coming up after the next 2 games of Online Block. So again, time is short. It's gonna fly. We know how much fun we have over here at SJD.
ビットでハードモードになる
Those donations rolling
か
in
な
and
と
we can see
思われます
those
ね。
endings happen. Now, if you are just joining us again, hello! Welcome back, everybody. This is SJDQ 2025, raising money for Doctors Without Borders and powered by Twitch. We have been here for as long as the week has been. It's only been a couple days, but we have already raised over $363,000 for MSF. Isn't that incredible?
そうですね、春友さんの出番が間もなくという形になりますね。
Just see what great work we're all able to do together in such a short amount of time.
みんな大好き塊魂アンコールプラス王様プチメモリーは34分後にて行われる予定です。日本人奏者の春友さんが走られます。
Indeed, I agree. Thank you so much for your donation. Again, we are so excited to see the great support come in from all of our community members. So thank you so much for supporting a great cause in Doctors Without Borders. We also had $100 come in from Medinak, who says, "Good luck to all the runners." Indeed, thank you so much for wishing them luck. They are amazing, right? It is so cool to see how all of these runners are able to break their games in the best way possible.
解説の方はいらっしゃらないので、コメントや
All right, everybody, I have some very fun news for all of you. Keeping us going with our online blog, we have our second run of this blog showing off with hard mode. Thank you so much to everybody who helped meet that incentive. Here is Bouzny showing off this super fun game. Let's get started, Bouzny.
Hello everyone, I'm Nitzel and welcome to this run of En Garde by Bouzny. I'm joined by Mixmew on commentary.
Hello.
And Bouzny is going to show off this fantastic game with
加工から入っていきますね。
since you unlock that. The main difference between hard and easy is mostly the amount
ホラ
of
ー
damage
枠から出した雰囲気のよう
the
で、
amount of damage they deal, and also how fast you build up your special. So things will be a little bit trickier this way. So Bouzny, are you ready to go?
Completely ready.
All right, so you can give us a countdown.
Just in difficile, so hard. It's 124 FPS.
Yeah, the frame rate is pretty important since it allows us to do some really specific skip, especially in the 4th episode.
Okay.
So ready when you are.
All right, so 3, 2, 1, let's go.
はい、グッドラックです。
Here we are. Welcome to En Garde, where you play Adalia Devorador, a swashbuckling sword fighter, duelist, a bit of a disaster sometime, but also a very daring vigilante. She is your hero for today, and right now she is fighting El Vigilante, who has stolen her sword from her to test her mental, so she can go against the Count Duke, the terrible ruler of this city. You are in Spain. Welcome. And now,
Yes.
スペイン語ですかね。
it's really a beat them up, kind of similar to some what you can find in games like the Batman Arkham games. It's a lot about crowd management and your position into the arenas. So you have two attacks. You have a simple basic attack.
チュートリアルが始まっ
And
て
you have
いる
also
ようです。
counters that you can do when you have white circles appearing above the head of the enemies when they attack. So right now we're into the tutorial. Unfortunately, there's no way to skip it. We're just going to play this part properly.
It introduces a few enemies that you will see often, the lackeys, which are the weakest enemies basically, but also it introduces banter. There's a lot of banter in the
スタイリッ
game.
シュでかっこいいですね。
Your enemies and provoke them, and they provoke you, and they complain at you when you beat them, because you do not kill in this game. You only ridicule your enemies. You try to just shame them into straightening their way.
Here we have a quick skip. So we're trying to do a double jump on that wall to avoid fighting these guys. Again, that's not something that the game expects you to do. It's really a fast thread that we do in the speedrun. We got through it, so that's nice. We gained a little bit of time. So here we have the soldier. So you might notice that there's a lot of information on top of the characters. You have like red gems, which are usually the health of enemies. A white bar that is like the stamina, something that tells you if they can still counter you. And then you have a red bar that is like the shield. And when that bar is filled, you just can
鶏を撫でてましたね。
without expecting them to
つまりこれは目玉焼きを焼くゲームだ
more
った。
chickens to that.
Most important mechanic of the game. Also, you just saw one of the main mechanics of the fighting, which is the environment. You do throw things at your enemies a lot, you jump above things, and this tutorial introduces you to basically kicking crates at your enemies to stun them. And it's very useful.
Yeah, here we go. We have another chicken. All the way back from Arctic Eggs.
また撫でてます。
Pretty nice. It's warmer here, it's better. So yeah,
ここには大切にしなくちゃね。
attacks that you can counter, the ones with the white circle, and you have like red attacks that you have to dodge. So those ones you can't counter at all. Here the goal is really to keep the enemies together, try to stun them so that you can just focus on one enemy at a time, because unlike a lot of games like the Spider-Man games or the Batman games, enemies will attack you together without waiting. So it's really about managing your position in the arena and your position near the characters.
Yes, you will find a lot of ways to optimize your fighting if you try to run. And the game itself is really full of
レッシングだとは思うんですが、結構剣のように振り回してませんか？
You might perceive that even
そんなもんなん
in
で
French,
すか
even though
ね。
the game is in French right now, you will perceive a lot of overacting from the characters. They're all flamboyant. It's on purpose. It's
切り落としちゃってる。
movie game basically.
Yeah, so here the game introduced the mechanic of you kicking enemies. That's really important because you can kick
Nice
enemies out
save.
of ledges, but you can also kick them like into items in the environment or off stairs, and that
セ
will
ルガー
build
か
up
ど
like
セルガーというより
that
か
you can see
大西洋
below their
かな
health,
とは思い
which
ました
allows
ね。
you to stun them and deal damage to them really fast. Here we're going to do jump into the water to teleport to the next room. Here we go.
Little
お
shortcut.
ワープした。
And now we group them and we try to send them to weapon racks and to the water the fastest as we can.
Yeah, we need to fulfill the condition from the tutorial. So what we try to do is, because if we don't fulfill the condition of the tutorial, the game will keep spawning enemies. So we try to do that in the first wave.
You see here and there a few little skips, jump and rolls, throwing items, and here we go. You don't wait for the end of the little dialogue. There's a lot of dialogue.
大セヌガー。
So if you do play the game, I invite you to really listen carefully.
セルガー
It
と
is
思えば
really fun. The atmosphere of the game is
そりゃ
super light, super
ナイ
fun.
スセ
It's
ール。
slapstick comedy. It's commedia dell'arte inspired. It's the swashbuckling movie, the Zorro, the Three Musketeers, the Princess Bride also
ポ
is
ルト
a
ガ
big
ル
reference for the devs.
どこ
I invite
ど
you to really pay attention when you
ど
play
ち
it
らなん
to
でしょ
what's
うね
being said.
言語が
Yeah, and here you have a portrait of the main villain, who's actually based. Like, there's a lot of inspiration on people who
い
actually
まいち
existed.
わか
We
りま
might
せ
have
ん
time
ね。
later on to speak a little bit about the villain. Something to know as well about this game. So at first, this was a student project, and actually you can play like the student prototype is available for free on itch.io, which is really fun because you can see the difference between the student project and the final game. The final game is obviously way better, but it's great to see how many elements were already there in the student project.
Yes, you can see all the potential that they transformed into a full game. You see all the ideas that stayed. It's a really fun archive to keep.
そうですね。ゲームの雰囲気はとても
And
ス
yes,
ペ
it
イ
was
ン
the
ら
first
しい
game
と
of
いうか、
Fireplace Studio to make.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Here we are so dealing with still more enemies. So the game really over time start mixing up the different kind of enemies and really wants you to use the environment all of the time. It's not a game where you can just focus on the on
フラメンコが流れてますし、
is that you have
ス
to
ペインなのかなっ
make
ていう
sure
感
that
じ
you
が
stun
しますね。
enemies to disable the AI for a little bit. Otherwise, you'll just get overwhelmed really, really fast.
absolutely. Bouzny is making it look way easier than it is.
Yeah.
And also you can see a fun item to throw is the basket, the woven basket, which basically blinds your enemy for quite a long time if you don't attack them. So it's a good way to delay some stronger enemies until you can take care of them.
What's done is done. Good luck and
Here we go. The game introduces
here-
special moves.
Yeah, the special moves of you have three of them. Will only use one throughout the run, so it uses half of your special gauge every time you activate
架
one.
空の17世紀ヨーロッパの街らしい。なるほ
Eat
ど。
a huge chunk of that Y bar, which allows you to deal damage to enemies afterwards. Again, we are seeing how nice it is to chain actions in this game. It's like throwing that bucket on top of an enemy's head, then pushing him up the stairs.
スペシャル技。
You could have
なるほど。
pushed that guy into the weapon stack, but you wanted to keep it to use it against those ones. So it's a lot of resource management when you play this, which is a really nice change again from other games in this genre.
戦闘とてもスタイリッシュで楽しそうですね。
Motion here and there when big, either special hits from you are happening, or you're about to be hit by a big attack and are avoiding it by the tiniest hair.
Yeah, when you do a perfect parry, you build up like that red gauge on enemies, and as well you get this more slow-mo. It's not actually something that we try to do that much in the run because it doesn't make gain a lot of time.
エンガードとは書きましたが、
Vigilante, who is definitely not your brother.
オンガードとも
Subtitle you see there,
呼ぶそうで
Vigilante, but in
す。
French.
発音の問題ら
Exactly,
しいです。
Alejandro, your brother, who is just testing you to make sure you're ready.
フェンシングで試合開始時に審判が選手に構えるように命じる命令とも言われているそうです。 つまり試合の体勢を取れという。
What will happen is that you'll have like additional enemies coming at you, which can be a bit tricky. Here we have Bouzny, who you just use the special because using your special also gives you health back, which is a safety as well there because he only had 1 health point, and also it allows us to get rid of the boss. So big escape in the game. We're just going to spam next episode.
And
We are playing on the 1.0 version of the game, and what that allows us to do is to completely skip 2 levels.
we skip basically 2 chapters of the game and went from the first to the last one. Like
そうです
that.
ね、樽をぶつける階段に落とすということができる
I
の
mean,
が
I can't only imagine the devs.
ただのフェンシングゲームではないアクション
They fixed it,
って
but
いうのが
since then.
自由度が
But,
高
I
くて
can
いいです
imagine
ね。
they might have been panicked when they realized that
そうです
something
ね。
very
エンガー
easy
ド
was present in
So
the
sorry
game.
for
So
that.
another
とスーパードン
teleportation.
キーコングのエンガードを思い出しますけれども、
It's a French character of the game who's basically a musketeer, kind of, and does have a French accent even in the English version of the game.
エンガードも
Lots of accents actually in the game in all languages. Every time most of the
とんが
characters
りを突き刺すような形を
this,
取るの
this
で、
character has a French
もしかしたらそちらからの
And
影響
pretty
を受け
soon
て
we're going
い
to
る
have
の
a
かもしれま
pretty
せんね。
important skip. We're going to do an airwalk. So the airwalk you activate it by doing a double jump right before you grab a pole. So first we need to open the door. We're going to go back and then we're going to activate that double jump right before reaching the pole, and we can just fly off throughout the whole stage.
あ、宙に浮いてますね。宙に浮いてますね。
Do we have time for a quick donation
普
soon?
通にやってるかなって思ってたら、
Yeah, you can send a donation right now.
Awesome. So we've had love coming in already.
空中浮遊も
We have $10 from Babajeno who says,
フ
Go
ェンシング
go
フェンシング
Bouzny.
も
Thank
空
you
中
so
浮
much
遊
for
が
your
できるん
donation.
ですね。
And we also had $10 come in from Miss Scratch 1313 who says, I've never seen On Garde in my life, but I need to purchase this immediately. Consider this me paying a finder's fee. Thanks so much for supporting Doctors Without Borders. And you're right, this game's amazing.
あと、さりげなくファイナルエピソードにスキップしてます。なるほど。先ほどからはワールドの端に行って海に落ちてリスポーンして、いや、正しくないリスポーンをしてるなというふうにも見えてたのですけれども、それでしたか。
Really intense combination of enemies. So these guys, we don't have to deal with them. We just run past them. And an enemy that we saw that this level introduced, the duelist, has a really specific mechanic based on the yellow bar. The yellow bar, the idea is that you have to focus on that guy all of the time. Right here, we're just going to regroup all the items that we can, as many items as we can in the middle of the arena, because we're going to have a lot of enemies coming up.
Yep, and we get the lantern so that we can get rid of a special enemy, which is the grenadier, which are the old ladies with grenades. So you just set them on fire and they explode by themselves. They have too many explosives on them. Another fun decor item is the cauldron, which you just throw a grenade at it.
フェンシングってすごいんだな。フェンシングを極めると空を飛べるんだった。飛べるとは知りませんでした。てっきり考古学だけかと。
Right now, we're actually trying to free our brother who has been captured. He was our informant that there was a treasure on this island, which is made of the bribes and money stolen by the terrible Count Duke. Here we have the captain, which is also another very strong enemy. Oh, and the cauldron fell on another enemy, sadly. But that's okay.
Yeah, that's all right. We'll deal with the captain.
フェンシングやってる人が見たらどう思うのだろうか。
Like we explained earlier,
フェンシングってもオリンピックだとかだと本当フェンシングの先をこうちょんとは言います。ちょんちょんするとは言いませんけれども。
Also, we always try to stay near the exit of
非常にシビアな
enemies just to be able to
ルール的にも
from the arena as fast as possible. This is probably
判定的にもシビアなゲームだなっていう
when you play casually because you have three duelists. And the idea with the duelist, you have this yellow bar, and the yellow bar, the idea is that it behaves like the white bar, except it will replenish itself if you stop.
剣道とは違うけど先に刺したら勝利してる感じ。すいません、フェンシングについては詳しくはないので誰か詳しい方が説明していただけると幸いです。
Don't do the right parry or dodge, depending on the attack they do towards you. They will recharge the stamina instantly. So if you don't parry when you should, it could lead to.
そうですね、電線で判定してますね。
And here we have El Vigilante again, totally not your brother. We jump in the water to charge the next zone, and here we are.
Slippier than expected.
Yeah. Also, this game, I think this game is on Switch and on
また今も
many platforms.
海に落ちるというか水は基本的にダメみたいですね。
Great game to play in ML. Here we're going to have a little bit of a boss rush. It's like we're going to fight all of the bosses that we had before in the game. So we skip 2 levels, but you'll see the bosses from stage 3.
So we fight El Vigilante again, so still not your brother, who's this time he's fighting you because he does want to be the hero this time. It was his idea after all. And you're like, you're gonna hurt yourself, so I'm gonna hurt you first.
Yeah, I don't think the brother is based on the historical video.
Not really.
日本でも一時期フェンシングが大人気になりましたもんね。
Yeah.
そうですね。結構
It's based on Julie Daubigny.
Julie Daubigny, or also known as
結構昔になってしま
was a
い
French
ます
opera
が
singer, infamous duelist, and also well known for being a
だ
bisexual
団体
icon.
でしたか。
Because she
団
did
体で
try
議員を
to
取得し
escape
た
with her lover from a convent.
こともあり、
And was condemned
一気にフェンシングについて
for her conspiracy to basically use a dead nun's body, hide it in her lover's bed, then set fire to the bed, and then escape.
そうですね。パリオリンピックでも
Historical character. If you think Adalia de Volador is a bit flamboyant, her historical counterpart
メ
is
ダルは取りましたっ
more.
け？
And here we meet Zaida, who is
まあ非常に
basically her crush, and they spend their time flirting and dueling, which accounts as flirting for them. So yeah, you do have a very strong basis on Julie Daubigny.
So yeah, right here we are fighting her mostly because, well, she's
巧妙な戦いが開
she's involved in this mostly for personal gain. She doesn't like the Duke, so the
メダルは取ってたと思う。あ、
but she would rather just
なるほ
steal
ど。
all of this
あり
money
がとうございます
rather than just stop his plan. So that's why we are fighting her right now.
あってその間にボスラッシュ
They
が
agree that
展開
Tom
され
Duke
て
is a
いるそう
terrible
です。
person and a terrible ruler that should be stopped, but they never agree on how to
ス
stop
キップ
him.
してるから見たことのない方々がいろいろといらっしゃいますね。
And that's it for our fight with Zaida.
All right. So
That's it.
So coming up soon, we're going to have one of the reasons why we run this game in 144 FPS. As you see, we have a little trick
名
that's
前の方で
step
そういう風土
allows
が
us
見えま
just
ちらっと見えました
to
が。
make super high jumps and go really high. If your frame rate is higher than that, you apply even higher.
Yes.
So the community agreed on going for 144 as the right balance.
Yes, apparently the saying is true. The higher the frame rate, the higher you fly. So,
gosh, soggy boots are the worst.
Quick teleportation again by throwing yourself in the ground. And
And
here we
here we
go. We have the
go.
Z step.
I admire your
whee!
persistence.
And we skip a big part of the level that way.
Yes. Much turns and twists skipped, and we are back with a duelist.
Yeah, so again, as you saw, we stun that elite soldier just to make sure that we can deal with the duelist. Again, it's really the main focus of this game. It's like trying to disable the various enemies just to make sure that you have time to focus on getting rid of the harder guys.
There you are. So how
Right now, Zaida is now helping you find the treasure room, in which
Another little skip by just doing jumps. It's mostly collisions that allows us to do this, and we are introduced to new items that we can use, which are the cannons.
fly on the hole, and go. And you can use them during fights, and you will see one in use very soon.
So yeah, right now we are really in the final stretch of the game. It's a pretty fun level. It's like the narration in the level is really fun to look at because it uses a lot of the environments, and you get like the whole plan of the villain explained throughout the environment. Also, a lot of these paintings of like the main villain are actually based on real paintings
of the real historical
戦の
characters
際に
based on.
どこいや
Yeah.
There are paintings by Velázquez, by Diego Velázquez,
なるほど
of the Count Duke de Olivares, his name, his real name, historical, was Gaspar de Guzmán y Pimentel Ribera y Velasco de Tovar, Count de Olivares and Duke de Sanlúcar la Mayor. And he was basically a favorite of the royal king of Spain, Philip IV, and he became a prime minister. He was well known for his kind of warmongering. Basically, he went back on peace treaties with his neighbors all the time because he wanted to restore Spain to its former glory that he felt it had lost. And due to that, he did have to raise a lot of war taxation. And so he met disaster abroad in war because he didn't manage to have a lot of victories, and also revolts and rebellions locally, domestically, especially from Catalonia y Portugal. So, you know, and all his paintings are really heavily referenced in the game. When you see them, and if you've seen the real paintings, you're like, oh yeah, they're not
そう
being
ですね解説者さんの衣装も
which is quite fun,
凝って
to
て
be fair. Of course, the historical character is more subtle than the counterpart in the game, who is just a really cartoonishly evil villain. But in this case, yes, the historical counterpart is also
もう
very
大砲も使っていきますね
So yeah, we are nearing the end of the run. So this arena, these last couple of arenas are really among the hardest one, especially when you play casually. Bouzny is just flying through them because he knows exactly which enemies to focus, which items to use. So it makes things a lot easier. When you play casually, it's really the main way that you have to play this game. It's really like a puzzle, like figuring out, all right, I should use this on this guy, that thing on that other guy, and so on. So it's a super fun game to play through casually.
Yes, and also I like that all the kind of platforming parts of it, when you just move from
そうですね爽快感
a lot
が
of little
あって
platforming puzzles where you have to find your
非常に
way
楽しそうな
through buildings and city and
ゲームですね。
city roofs and stuff. It's really super fun. You do pick a lot on nice landscapes and also fun little movements in general. I really like the movement mechanism of the game. It's very fluid. It's very fun, to be fair. Here we go.
All right,
Oh, see
so
one of the portraits? There.
yeah, again,
Count Duke.
these portraits.
So Count
And
Duke
I-
is a title you can get if you're a count
Is-
and a duke.
Yeah, here we are doing a quick skip, like that jump. Usually the game wants you to go forward, but you can actually just jump towards the exit right away.
You don't have to.
I like also the fact that you can skip some of the fights. Like you don't have to defeat absolutely every enemy. It's not just room combat, corridor, and so on. It's like you can get a bit creative when you're playing. And this is the final combat room, the hardest one in the game.
Where
So
you
we're
have
going to fight the Duke, and every time we'll remove a half point from him, we'll have additional enemies coming at us.
もういかにもな
here we have the Count Duke that
敵が
in
現
the
れました
the first time you face him, but you actually have to face him in chapter 2 also before that. So just because we skip it doesn't mean we don't know him.
Yeah, here we put some wine on the floor so that causes enemies to fall on. That makes enemies slip on the ground. So again, we only have 2 health points. There's no invincibility period on the character, so you can die really fast. So we need to be super careful.
Yes, this is why the game is pretty challenging, is you don't have much life, especially in hard mode, you have even less life. And so you do have to be very careful because even your own little
Bakats.
traps of the environment can
Kayak.
hurt you. Explosions can hurt you. So be very careful with that.
Yeah, and right here it's like Bouzny is trying to gain time by focusing Conduit, but doing that as well increases the difficulty of the fight because you have more enemies to deal with.
Yes.
Casually, usually you just focus on the smaller guys first, and then on the Duke, just to make sure that the place doesn't get overcrowded, because there's not much room in this section.
Absolutely, and especially during this fight, every time you do make the count lose one health point, that on the
爆発の嵐。
his name, new enemies come in. There are more soldiers coming in every time you make him lose a health point. So you do have to be very, very careful.
Okay, so his guard is broken. When you see that broken shield, it means that you can spam him and he won't be able to counter you. So that's really what we are trying to do as much as possible. In the final phase, he can still counter you in that section. It's a little surprise that the game likes to throw at you.
Yes. Every health point.
Okay, we're almost through.
Yes.
Almost got rid of him.
There we go.
And here we go.
The game is challenging, but it's also very generous with the save points.
押しましたが、あ、逃走しました。
You are able to do a lot of things like that. And here we are at the last standoff. Count Duke.
Yeah, so this section, he'll talk to you to death.
Basically, yes. He's exposing his great big
So you
plan.
can just hear him talk forever, or you can just, well, you'll see what we're going to do with him. So.
You okay?
If you want a nice history tidbit,
Chad, should we blow him up or
because,
not?
yes, and meanwhile, I have to read you a quote about the real Count Duke of Olivares, who was described as extravagant, outsized personality with a gift for endless self-dramatization.
これデモかと言わんばかりに導火線がありますが、
Bye bye.
わ
And that's time once we have the.
ー、爆発落ちなんて最低。
Here we go. Time.
GG です。
Well, very good run.
At last fight,
Yes.
it was cooperative.
Someone sitting on my hand.
Good job.
My
You did
chicken.
Yeah, you did really, really well.
Yeah, that was a really good run. Do any of you have any final shout-outs? Let us
い
know
いで
where
す
we
ね。
can
な
find
仲
you,
良
all of that fun
く
stuff.
喧嘩しなと言わん
I
ば
will
Oh,
か
say
り
a big
に。
thank you to my two commentators. They allowed me to concentrate to my run, as I'm not very good in English.
You told me you'd be
さて、
So
この
thank you very much. Thanks to Anne and Azer who
You always end up
made the
Eh,
commentate in the French stream. Shout out to the French stream. And
こちらの
thanks everyone
オンガー
who
ド、
donated
オンガー
to
ド
this
と
run.
言いま
Thanks
すね。
JDQ to
オンガー
allow
ド、
me to show
スチ
this
ーム
game.
で現在
And finally, I would say,
70% 削減、
faites-vous et bourrez les
840円でご購入いただけます。
So yeah, shout out to every restream out there. We do a lot of commentary on the French restream ourselves, so it's always nice to give a shout out to the German, Japanese, and other
7
restreams.
月11日までの削減なので、
to support also GDQ
ど
on their end to make
興味のある方は
so yes.
どうかお早めにご購入くださいませ。
Amazing. Thank you so much to Bouzny and to the
はい
lovely、
配信の方
commentators
も
as well
終わり
for
ました
showing
ね。
off on Garde. So thank you again. Make sure we hold tight, everybody, because we still have a little
さ
more
て続いて
online
は
coming up very
塊
soon
魂
here on SPDQ
日本人
2025.
奏者の春元さんの
We are going to be taking a short break as we continue to get ready
出
for
番となりま
Beloved
す。
Katamari Reroll and Royal Reverie. So stick on in and
日本から
we will be getting more
ぜひ
coffee, more
応援していきましょ
water, whatever you
という
need.
ことで
We'll catch you on the other side of this break. Take care.
私は、交代とさせていただきます。ありがとうございました。ではゲームの準備だ、次のゲームの準備がありますので失礼いたします。ありがとうございました。
All right, while we are taking this short little break, this is a great time to hang out together, check in on how things are going. I hope you all enjoyed that incredible En Garde run. And again, as the commentators mentioned, shout out to our friends at the French Restream that do all of the great work with GDQ as well. We are so excited to have such a great collaboration with those communities. And a big thank you as well to everybody who donated to reach that incentive so that we could get hard mode. That was so incredible to see. Y'all smashed it. We had that incentive met a couple of games before we even got to En Garde. So thank you again to everybody who's been supporting this. But the fun does not stop here. We still have some very exciting incentives lined up for all of you for more runs that will be taking place after the online block today. So let's take a little bit of time to check in on all of those because I've got a great little fun deal for you. We can get more game, more fun incentives, more time with our runners while supporting Doctors Without Borders. And if that's not a bit of a win-win situation, I don't know what is. So we have some big incentives that are